In this video, I'm joined by Bernd Bousard, and he's going to tell us how he got his internship at Buck Sydney and how that turned into a full-time position. All right, so Bernd, you got your internship at Buck Sydney, and now you're working there full-time. I think that's probably 90% of people's sort of ideal career path starting in the industry. So let's talk about how did that happen? How did you get that internship to begin with?
It's a bit of a story. I started interning in Amsterdam, after my studies, during my studies, and got a full-time there as well. So I was working in Amsterdam for about a year and 6-7 months. And I was just craving for something new, a new adventure, something more abroad, as in Amsterdam is already abroad for me from Belgium. It's not that abroad, but it's a little bit. It's 2 hours by car. And I was just looking for something else, and I was working at a company called Plus One over there. They're great. I still love them. They're great people. I ended up just sending or making a show reel and a website, which was basically just a portal to my show reel and my social stuff. So I only send a show reel off to my little list I had, companies I really wanted to work for. Some of them were it would be cool to work for them 5 years down the road. But then all of a sudden Buck was one of the first that came back to me, and I ended up having a Skype call or a call with both the Sydney studio and the LA studio. So it went hyperspeed from there. I found myself 1 month later packing my bags and stuff.
Really, 1 month?
Yeah, it was
That's
really
awesome.
a quick turnaround, which was actually an internship at the Sydney studio. Yeah, I just sent my internship and my show reel, had a Skype call with him, with Gareth, and that was about it. Just make some work you were really proud of, putting in a show reel, putting some editing, some nice tracks, some nice beats out, and that's it.
Awesome. That's great to know that, don't hold back and think, I won't approach that studio. Send your show reel to everyone. There's nothing to lose. You're not going to get put on some blacklist because your work wasn't good enough. They'll go, they'll think, maybe this work's not right for us now, maybe later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also that,
I think there's also a lot of luck involved. I hear later they were just, at that point in time, just looking for an intern. And they just opened the mailbox, and I was probably one of the recent ones. There's sometimes a lot of luck involved.
Yeah.
But
don't send an email every week though. Don't get irritating.
Keep it short. Keep in mind those producers or AR people getting a lot of emails in a day, and just put all your time and work in a really nice show reel, rather than making up for an average show reel with text. Just be and I did this project, and I think a show reel will speak most of your talking.
Was it a paid internship?
It was a paid internship.
Okay, that's good to know. I think a lot of places don't pay, and I think I'm not totally against taking an unpaid internship if you get lots of experience. If you're in a position where you can, not everyone is in a position where they can work free. Yeah. That's awesome that Buck.
Yeah, I feel it's all a culture thing. Back in Belgium, I heard a lot of students and friends that were doing internship, and it was probably not paid, which was 3-4 months of putting your time in there. It's worthwhile. You get so much experience, but also if you go abroad, you need to pay rent for your stuff, and it's nice to get paid. Even in Amsterdam, I got paid, which I'm really grateful for. But in Sydney as well.
That's awesome, because I did an internship with a illustration agency. I wanted to be an illustrator before I was an animator, and my internship was unpaid, and that was fine. I was willing to accept that, and I still had a great experience. But also, I know at Buck, they really treat their interns like staff. I went in there as a freelancer. I didn't know who was an intern, who wasn't. Everyone's given the same amount of tasks and responsibility. Obviously, there's more sort of coaching and training on the interns, but you're not fetching coffees. You're in there.
Oh, no.
You're making I'm sure from the week one your credits are on the projects that are on the Buck website.
Yeah, day one I was already animating together with all the lead animators and stuff. I feel the internship was, as much as you put into it, you get back. If you just want to serve coffees and stuff, more power to you. But you're there just to get experience and get better. So they just like give you projects and you just make the best out of it.
That's awesome, man. I'm very, very jealous that was the start to my career. I'm sure a lot of people out there are.
Yeah.
So how did you turn that into a full-time thing?
So the internship was 6 months.
Oh, that's a nice, hefty time.
So I arrived in September, so like at the start of the nice weather over here.
September 2018?
2018, yeah. So yeah, I was like interning for like 6 months, and I just really loved like the whole vibe in the studio, like the studio culture, but also like the things I've learned. Like it was like some kind of boot camp of like, this is design and art direction, like animation, like all these really important skills. And like I think after four months into the internship, I was contemplating with the idea like, I want to be full-time here. Like I really like it here.
Did you have to do any contemplating? Or was it day one? You're like, I want to work here.
Well, it was probably like half a second. Like I was really thinking deep. But yeah, it was basically like a no-brainer. But then like I said yes to myself. Like yeah, I really want to stay. Took all my courage and like arranged like a coffee conversation with Gareth, the creative director there, and I had like a whole list of questions I really wanted to ask, and like all these like arguments, like, oh, I'm doing this in the studio, like this whole list.
All your list of, this is what I'm good selling yourself to.
Yeah, like even before making a list. At the moment itself, like in the heat of the moment, I was like super stressed, and like no questions, like nothing on this list came out. I was just, can I stay? Like I just really love like working for you guys, and I was just wondering if there's like room and time and effort, like everything ready for someone full time. And he really promptly said yes, like very much. And from there, like I said yes, they said yes, and then this sort of like whole like Australian visa process.
Oh yeah, that's an ordeal.
Which is I mean a very long process. It's just like a lot of steps. It's not hard. It's just like a lot of steps to follow, a lot of waiting. So then I didn't work for like a month and a half-ish. I was still in Australia though, just like exploring the area. And after that, I got like my full-time. Like my visa got granted on my birthday actually, which was pretty cool. So I started my first full-time day at BAC on my birthday. The things that made me transition from an internship to full-time is just being super eager to learn and like keen to contribute to projects, like show what you got and then just make the best of it. Again, like this like talent and personality thing. Like you can be the most talented, like doing all these things for projects and like giving your best, but also just be a cool person to work with in the studio. You just want to be easy to work with, but also I really like music, so I was just like playing tunes the whole day in the studio, not every day, but just when I saw suited. And it's like building this little culture in the studio, like contributing to it.
You're gonna be part of this, this family.
Yeah, and it's just a combination of skills and personality that like make you full time. It's like again like a lot of luck involved. Like they just have to find a position free and like having headroom for that, or like maybe the studio is expanding, or like they just like let someone go. Like all these variables. I think that for me was the thing, like being super eager and being a nice guy to play around with. I don't know.
Definitely, man. And I think it's definitely well deserved. You can see by your work. There'd be a fool not to swipe you up while you were while you're available. And like I know Liz, one of the other interns at Buck, was there while I was freelancing. She's now like full time as well. Yeah. So that's like Buck, they can keep their interns. It's
and again, like for her as well, like she's so talented, like she's amazing, but also like I heard and I experienced it, like she's super easy to work with, like super keen to like hear feedback. I don't know, like there's like no ego involved. It's not like I get feedback from you, but I think I'm better. It's nothing of that. It's just I do this and I'm really proud of it. And what do you think about? And then an art director like Gareth would say, maybe it could be cool, but if you change it in this way. I think it's more like an organic thing rather than I know this skill and now I'm going to be full time. Probably not. Yeah. It's more than that.
It's definitely my time like freelancing at Buck. Like the art direction there is it's like the best art direction I've ever had. Like Gareth and Lucas, the creative directors, like it's so much, it's not like these are orders, make this. It's part of the process, and they, like, what do you think about this? Could we try this?
Yeah,
you don't feel like, there's this hierarchy of system of, well, these people say what you do, and then you do them. Intern doing all the rotoscoping and and all those things. It's a really awesome process. And
because there is all this like headroom, or like they keep you very free, you like take responsibility as well. like they say, could you make a super nice frame? And you were just like, you know what, like I'm gonna make the best frame ever. Like I'm gonna try to impress you rather than can you make the best frame ever? Like it's not like this imposed.
We need you to make the best frame ever. You know, if it's not good enough, we're gonna pull out the whip.
It's more like this like self-imposed, like I want to make something really cool, and then you just like go for it and make the best you do.
I definitely thought, well, so I was freelancing there, it definitely brought out the best in me. I was like, all right, I gotta make my work up to the standards of like everyone else that's working here and not working here and is making awesome stuff. You really want to, you know, not seem like you're letting the team down as well. Yeah. But that's not in a way that makes you feel like, oh, I have to do anything. It's like, you know, you want to.
Yeah, you just want it.
There's not these expectations as, you know,
like self-expectations.
Yeah.
Like I want to be really good. I want to be as good as everyone in the room, and that just elevates everyone. I mean, my advice for like if you're interning somewhere and you're aiming for something full time, show you're eager, show you're like keen to like learn things. In the process, you will also improve. Like you will like hone your skills as well. But also like just be a normal, good guy, girl to work with. Just be nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've got a few takeaways for anyone that wants to be intern and start at back. You want to first of all like be a nice person to work with. Have some good work, put together a show reel. It doesn't matter how far you are in your career. If you think, you know, oh, I'm not ready for Buck yet, send it anyway. I sent many an email to like years ago. They had a position open for 2D designer. I sent an email to Buck. I got an email back saying, you know, we're not ready for you yet. I mean, I was gutted at the time, but like look back, yeah, I was not ready. You know, I was not up to that standard. It's all right, you know. And then a few years later, I'm freelancing for them, and it's awesome. Oh, and also, they're on their website. They've got an application form. Yeah, you don't need to hunt down producers' emails and pester them.
Yeah, like sometimes I find myself people asking me like, how do I land an internship in Sydney? Like maybe it's like very like a generic answer, but the form on the website, I think it's the best way to just like reach them. But just like even not Buck, but just like every other company, they probably have like this like standardized way of like applying, and it will probably end up in the right mailbox rather than just like somewhere.
Thank you for sharing some of your story. I hope you find some use for that.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I've made a short playlist of some related videos that I think you'll enjoy if you've made it this far. And please consider subscribing if you'd like more of these videos every week.